everyone's gonna be heading to the National Stadium for the massive Mega Force promotion, October Mega Cash Bingo.
How much cash we really talking about?
We're talking $100,000. $100,000 in cash to be won. Get your tickets now. $60 for one or $100 for two.
This is gonna be another epic bingo event.
Organize your posse now, because no one should miss Mega Force October Mega Cash Bingo.
Good morning, Farmer Brown.
Morning, ma'am.
My name is Alice Charles, and I'm from the Ministry of Agriculture, and I'm just here to ask you a few questions for a survey that we are conducting.
Man, am I busy? I have a lot of work to do. You're coming to harass me right now. I have crops to harvest. You're holding me back. I can't do that right now. And make sure you have all my information. What more information do they want?
No. Not so, farmer. Not so, farmer. Look, this lady is carrying out a census for the Ministry of Agriculture, collecting the important data like how many crops are produced, how many farmers, so that we can find ways to help you and the other farmers. So we are calling on all farmers like you to cooperate with the enumerators, because the important information is very important for the building of the nation. Do better than that, man. Come on.
Okay,
Finish, man. Right.
So this information is for the 2023 agricultural census. So we're going to be asking you questions like your name, the size of your land, the type of crops that you plant, just questions along those lines.
That's okay. Yeah.
The agricultural census will be conducted from September to December 2023. Farmers throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique are kindly asked to cooperate with all enumerators.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Monday, the 25th of September, with the news headlines coming to you in association with Courts Grenada Limited.
Switch to a Ready Cash loan today. Bring your loan to us and get 25% off your interest rate. Get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and hassle-free service, so you can do all the important things you need with ease. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Visit us in-store or apply online at www.shopcourts.com. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Coming up in the news this evening, a cry for attention from community mental health workers who started protest action on Monday. Authorities on high alert following a second break-in at a primary school in St. Andrew. One man injured in a shooting incident over the weekend. And in sport, another win for Spice Girls in the CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifiers. Now have details to those and other stories to look to at the public forecast information. It'll all be right after the break. Stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to your compliment Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening. With the details, I'm Tony Julian. 2023 has, of course, been dubbed the Year of Mental Health and Wellness. However, community mental health workers are still saying that they are yet to feel the love, as several issues remain unresolved. Monday marked the first day of protest action for the health professionals, and the Public Workers Union say that it's simply a cry for attention. But let's get more details in this report.
And I would just want to go on record as my position. I don't think healthcare has remained the same. I don't think healthcare has improved. I believe firmly, based on my observations and listening on the ground and so forth, healthcare has depreciated.
Community mental health workers are taking a stance against what they call being ignored by the former and current administration. The Public Workers Union say the protest stems from long-standing issues related to compensation and how workers are treated. Public Workers Union President Brian Grimes says matters remain unresolved despite several correspondence to the relevant persons. One of the burning issues, he says, is that the 10 community mental health workers on island are not paid a traveling allowance.
At the end of the month, they travel between 700 to 900 miles, right? Dealing with mentally challenged people, sometimes people who are very, very dangerous, right? People who may sometimes have weapons and so forth. So it's not an easy job by any stretch of the imagination. Now, in terms of the fact that they don't even get a traveling allowance, this has been a long-standing issue. They give them a general allowance about $350, right? And this was years ago, well close to 2 decades ago. This was administered. Inflation, everything has come. For whatever reason, the authorities, the government of Grenada, have not made the post a designated traveling post, right? On top of that, claims have been sent in because they are not designated traveling officers. The PS have stated, listen, well, let's do mileage. For months, there are at least 2 officers, 15 months and 18 months respectively, have not gotten any form of compensation, whether it's allowance or mileage or whatever it is.
Grimes says numerous letters to the Ministry of Health have only been met with lip service, and the union awaits the opportunity to engage with officials from the Ministry of Health.
In fact, the last piece of correspondence related to this matter went to the PS in the Ministry of Health on September 11th and copied to the Minister of Health, stating that if the matters, the low-hanging fruit are not addressed, on the 25th there will be possible action. We here at the Grenada Public Workers Union, obviously we don't bluff, but we want to work collaboratively with government. This is why we gave a period in time.
Unpaid claims, understaffing and lack of proper work tools are also on the list of concerns raised by workers. The Public Workers Union say industrial action will escalate in the coming days should the authority continue with what is deemed as a don't care attitude. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
In a troubling turn of events, St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School has fallen victim to yet another break-in the space of just 1 week, leaving staff, students and villagers alike concerned, and authorities are on high alert. But let's get more on it from Troy Gill.
Yet another break-in has occurred over the weekend at the Grenville Anglican Primary School at Progress Park, St. Andrew, following reports of a similar incident at the school just 1 week ago. Last week, the principal's office and adjacent classrooms were broken into, with its contents strewn across the floor. According to President of the Parent-Teacher Association, Tillon Mitchell, the school has continually requested that a security officer be stationed at the school. Speaking on Monday's incident, Mitchell says it is unfortunate that the school continues to bear the brunt of such activity, which can be a traumatizing experience for staff and students.
So we have had another break-in again this morning, unfortunately. Teachers had to walk into this scene again today. And it's very touching. Like I said, it was a concern for me on last night. I was really concerned if this is going to be a reoccurring of happening. And again, we see that it has happened again this morning. And it saddens me as a parent. It saddens the other parents, teachers, students again. And we're not sure how far the police has gotten into the investigation on this matter. And we do understand that, you know, not everything can be solved quickly, but it really is for concern on the safety of the students, safety of the teachers.
According to Mitchell, the principal's office and adjacent classrooms were targeted again in this recent incident.
Well, we assume it would have been yesterday, because Friday the teachers and staff would have left school in an orderly manner, and on arriving today, again this morning, we see that everything has been turned upside down again. The office, we had classroom that was also turned up. And again, remember, this is the office where everything is stored, everything on file is there, you know, all information is there.
No suspects have been named or arrests made in connection with the incident, and police sources say investigations continue. Following last week's incident, Minister for Education David Andrew and other education officials visited the school and assured staff and students that efforts are ongoing to secure the school compound. Officials say measures include assigning security personnel to the school. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
An expected 20 to 30,000 passenger arrival increase as the Grenada Tourism Authority announces a third Virgin Atlantic service flight to Grenada. MTV News spoke with Petra Roach, Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Tourism Authority, on what this actually means for the tourism industry.
The change runs from December 8th to March 29, 2024, increasing Virgin Atlantic flights to Grenada from 2 to 3 per week during the winter season. The carrier, which currently flies to Grenada on Tuesdays and Saturdays, will make Friday its newest addition, with all 3 services flying from London Heathrow via Barbados. In an interview with our news team, Petra Roach, Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Tourism Authority, elaborated on this new service and what it means for Grenada.
We're really excited to have Virgin Atlantic announce that they will be starting a third service into Grenada. Currently they're operating on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and now Fridays will be added into the schedule. They're currently flying an A330-300, which gives us 264 seats.
She said most of Grenada's hotels in the Virgin Atlantic portfolio are expected to benefit as a result of the new schedule. The CEO also highlighted that the GTA will also be starting the Boston service with JetBlue.
So this is all part of our overall strategy to increase the airlift into Grenada. As you're aware, from November the 4th, we will also be starting the Boston service with JetBlue. This is the first time that we're coming out of that gateway. Out of the US market, we currently have 3 gateways, which are the JFK Airport with JetBlue, and then out of Miami and Charlotte we have American Airlines operating.
Rhodes stated that due to the 5th Freedom Flights initiative obtained this year, they are now able to welcome passengers from the United Kingdom and Barbados.
In June this year, they actually got 5th Freedom rights. So not only do we have the ability to have passengers which are originating in the UK, but we also now have the ability to pick up passengers from Barbados, which means that not only are we building our second largest market, which is the British market, but we also now have the potential to build out the Barbados market as well. So we're really excited about this. And we're working quite aggressively with the tour operator community, with the travel agency community, with our media partners in the UK to ensure that there is raised awareness and that we have these partners actually selling packages into Grenada.
In a release, Chairman of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Randall Dolan, says they are delighted to welcome this third frequency to Grenada and sees it as a clear indication that the island's tourism product continues to improve. Reporting for MTV News, Akila Aberdeen.
Prime Minister of Grenada and Minister of Infrastructural Development, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, addressed the 78th session of the General Assembly of the United Nations. The Prime Minister used the global stage to boast about the island's advancement in access to quality education and training for all citizens.
Further to Mr. President, and to ensure that no one is left behind, our premier community college for youth exiting the secondary school system in Grenada, the TMRHO Community College, has implemented skills to access the Green Economy Project in partnership with a significant member of this body to allow many of our youth to receive the acquired job-related education and training in a variety of identified vocational disciplines. My government has developed and commenced a free tuition policy which allows all students access to a post-secondary school and tertiary level education at no tuition cost to them as part of our commitment to a good quality education to as many a cross-section of our student population and wider population as possible.
Gender equality was also one of the topics discussed by Prime Minister Mitchell.
We have implemented the Spotlight Initiative, which aims to end violence against women and girls, and which highlights the all-of-society approach required to advance the attainment of this very important SDG 5. This initiative has come with the assistance from the United Nations Development Programme, whom we thank, and which is designed to focus attention, coordinate human effort, and strategically apply resources to the implementation of a well-conceived, comprehensive national program to contribute to ending family violence and all forms of violence against women and girls in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
The UN General Assembly, UNGA, is the main policy-making organ of the organization. Comprising all member states, it provides a unique forum for multilateral discussion of the full spectrum of international issues covered by the Charter of the United Nations. Now, each of the 193 member states of the United Nations has an equal vote. That's the first segment of the Evening News Monday. We'll be back with you after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
For when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Everyone wants money, don't you? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $198,000. Play today for chances at improving your life. Lotto. Play and win a lot of money.
with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help you joy of learning.
Your new Grenlec bill is even easier to read and still has all the valuable information you need to track and manage your usage.
Hey Mom, okay, your friendly tech support is here. So you got the new Grenlec bill? Let's take a look. The new bill makes it even easier to see your bill total, the due date, and much more. And take a closer look. It actually is a lot easier to understand. Let me show you. You can still see exactly what the charges are for, but in a great new format, it even shows how the cost of generating and delivering the electricity to you is calculated using your actual usage. And Mom, let Lucy know she can check out Grenlec's new Understanding Your Bill video. Anyway, look who says hi, and see you soon.
Your new Grenlec bill, easier to understand and easier to track your usage.
Grenada! On Sunday, October 1st from 5 p.m. Everyone's gonna be heading to the National Stadium for the massive Mega Force promotion. October Mega Cash Bingo!
How much cash we really talking about?
We're talking $100,000! $100,000 in cash to be won! Get your tickets now. $60 for one or $100 for two.
This is gonna be another epic bingo event!
Organize your posse now because no one should miss Mega Force October Mega Cash Bingo!
Hi, good day. My name is Kyle Sylvester. I am the manager and founder of Case Farming Enterprise. We're an agro-processing business that are involved in the processing of agricultural goods, where we do bottle seasoning packs, lettuce, kale, and broccoli. Sometimes we as human beings get sick or injured on the job. NS provides a safety net for us. I am here to encourage other entrepreneurs and self-employed persons to sign up under the NIS Self-Employment Program.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. The fisher folk on the western side are not being left out. That is according to Parliamentary Representative for St. John, that's Karine James. During a recent town hall meeting, MP James highlighted refurbishment and enhancement projects which are ongoing. That would be to assist fisherfolk with the safety of their equipment. Donna Sapanchu has more on that story.
Parliamentary Representative for St. John, Honorable Karine James, says she is listening to the pleas of her constituents and is not leaving out the fisherfolk, particularly those in the village of Marigot. At James' recent town hall meeting, she spoke about a project to develop the community of Old Road. This project will not only see the building of a safe house for the fisherfolk to store their equipment, but will also help to develop the area into a tourist attraction site.
Taking into consideration that in addition to the fishermen in the Old Road Marigot area, the problems that they have there, and the type of culture that they have curated now in terms of having the grilled fish Sundays and all of that in the area, adding value to their catch, I was inspired even more to go out further. And so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the element of surprise that have been a talking point for some months now, but has been a decade-long issue, is one step closer to becoming a reality for the young men and the more matured men in the Old Road area that are in the fishing sector.
Speaking more about some of the developments to take place was architect for the project, Curlin Frank.
Before we get into the project, of course, the first thing we have to do is to be able to understand the site. Because for any architectural project, the site dictates what is going to happen, right? We can't have a one-size-fits-all approach for every site, right? So this is just an outline of what we're going to follow. So the shape of the bay, the relative depth, all the natural features that we saw, these are things that we can use for that project. So the site activity. So we've understood the nature, right? We said it's tight-knit, it's well accessible. We've got the sloping landscape, we've got the natural features, the water course, the sunlight, the wind, and of course, the fishing community. So we've underlined all of this, and here's what we propose.
She went on to speak on some of the additional features.
This is going to give us. That project, here's what it can look like. So we can have, if you keep clicking, an improved shorelines, varied shade trees, lockers and bathrooms, a pedestrian bridge, and of course, a lined water course, so that same riverbed.
It was noted that this is part of the efforts to recreate the community spirit. MTV News, Donessa Pancho.
The Royal Grenada Police Force confirms the occurrence of a shooting incident that occurred over the early hours of Sunday, the 24th of September, at Moya, St. Andrew, resulting in one man sustaining injuries. One young man, whose name was not released by police, is at present in custody assisting police with investigations. Now, a statement from the Royal Grenada Police Force on Monday did not provide details as to the severity of the injuries sustained, but shortly after the incident on Sunday, a short video was circulating on social media showing a young man on the ground bleeding. Well, police investigations are continuing into that matter. Parang season over on the sister isle of Carriacou has started, with the official launching on Saturday the 23rd of September under the theme ensuring the strings stay alive in our culture. According to chair of the Parang Festival Committee, the theme was strategically selected as youngsters are being encouraged to get themselves more involved with cultural practices, as we hear now from Donella Hostin.
Parang is all of us. The Parang is within. It belongs to us. And therefore all of us have a part to play in helping to preserve enhance and protect this rich cultural heritage of ours.
Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, Honorable Tevin Andrews, speaking at the recent launch of Carriacou's 2023 Parang Festival. According to the minister, it is imperative that this tradition is sustained and taught in schools.
We at the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and local government, with the policy level cabinet and also at the Grenada Lotteries Authority, recognizing that we have launched a new initiative which Brother Andy Matheson from the Cultural Secretariat spoke about earlier, by putting together a group of individuals who will go out into the community, into the schools, teaching the string band, teaching music, in an attempt to keep this thing going from generation to generations to come.
Minister Andrews said the idea is to continue to advance the culture and heritage on the Sister Isle. Also sharing brief remarks at the launch was the chair of the Parang Festival Committee, Angus Martin, who said with the addition of youths to the competition, they are hoping to get more young people involved.
This year, we are extremely happy to say that we will be continuing with the Friday night Hosanna singing competition, to which we hope to include a junior category. This will ensure that the young ones get a fair opportunity to be part of the festival, and also that the tradition is passed on from generation to generation.
Patrons were entertained by a group of youths during Saturday's launch, sharing a taste of what is to come during this year's festival, guarded for December 15th to 17th.
Strawberry, dandy root, passion fruit, aloo, and cake. I want the homemade wine, Madame Gloria, give me the homemade wine. It's nice.
Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hostin.
That's the second segment of the evening news for Monday here on MTV, with still more to come.
The second segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
The National Lotteries Authority is a proud sponsor of many cultural activities within the Tri-Island state of Grenada.
My name is Anderson Matheson, also known as Leftist, and I'm a calypsonian and string band music player from Carriacou. I support the games of the National Lottery Authority because culture benefits tremendously. Annually, the NLA supports the Carriacou and Petite Martinique Carnival, the Carriacou String Band Music Festival, and all regattas, among other activities. When I play the game of the NLA, I can see where my money goes, and it's an investment into our culture.
Yes, Grenada, when you play the games of the NLA, you enable us to invest in the skills and talents of our people in the areas of sports, culture, and nation building.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter. Call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Let's get back to school with Dutch Lady. Spend $10 or more on Dutch Lady products, scan the QR code, enter your name, address, telephone number, receipt number, and place of purchase at any of our outlets. Or online to enter for a chance to win. Shopping voucher valued at $1,000 for school supply. Free internet for 3 months. Free private tutoring for 3 months. Promotion valid from September to October 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Visit participating outlets and get ready to win big with Dutch Lady. Dutch Lady, building stronger families.
The choice to finance your education is clear. Try the Grenada Development Bank Won't You Dare. Our special student loan was designed with care for your growth, development, and welfare. This is how champions are made. Take on that challenge. Don't ever be afraid. Our special student loan will come to your aid with 100% of your study costs being paid. Vulnerability is but a temporary condition, and conquering it is strictly ambition. You can secure victory despite your position with a loan for accommodation, books, and tuition. We see your potential. We notice your drive. So on your marks, get set. Let your dreams come alive. Don't let hurdles of doubt get in your way, because you are the future. Contact GDB today. Our special student loan is just one application away. Grenada Development Bank. Development through financing.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Thompson, co-owner and founder of Sweet Grenada Tours, Taxi and Rental. We provide transportation tours in the field of tourism. Being in the field of tourism, the pandemic have taught us that we need all the help we can get, which the NIF has been very helpful in doing so. But as a small business owner, we are even more excited right now with the new initiative that the NIF have launched, providing a little bit more flexibility for small businesses like ourselves. So we definitely encourage all of the small business to consider getting on board with the NIF and this new initiative that allows the level of flexibility that they have implemented.
Grenada, get ready! A new season of the Grenleg Debates is coming. Informative, impromptu, bright young minds sparking powerful ideas. The Grenleg Debates, September 2023. Tune in.
Business in 3 comes to you in association with GIDC, empowering the Spice Isle.
Are you looking for a place to relax and maybe just experience a picturesque view on the south of the island? Villa Kaya just may be the place for you then. In this week's edition of Business in 3, we hear from Craig Keller, co-owner of Villa Kaya, and how the GIDC has helped him on this investment journey.
We're at Villa Kaya. Welcome. My name is Craig Keller. I'm the co-owner and co-developer of the project. I did it along with my wife, Paula Latouche Keller. We're a 5-suite boutique hotel on the waterfront and facing the beach in Montrouge Bay. We have 5 bespoke suites, 2 waterfront and 3 sea view. At our core is sustainability, so we produce as much electricity with photovoltaic power up on the roof as we use. We have green roofs around the property to offset the use of concrete to provide more biodiversity and minimize the runoff into the sea. Low voltage lighting throughout the project, hyper-efficient air conditioning units, really just to minimize our footprint on Grenada to make tourism as sustainable as possible. The project has had a fairly long development cycle, from land acquisition to design, slowdowns during the pandemic, the construction, all the constraints post-pandemic when it was so slow bringing things on the island. So we've worked with GIDC from the conception of the project, so we're probably going on 3.5 years for this project. They've been extremely helpful in getting us through this. They helped us in the beginning with some interface with the government. They were kind of by our sides as we went through planning and got outline planning consent, and then the fiscal incentives as well. So we've really enjoyed the process. It's been critical to making this project possible. Most things in Grenada are taxable. Everything that is brought onto the island is taxed at the port. That's really where the government captures most of its revenue from taxes. So it would have been almost impossible to deliver anything near this standard without the incentives.
The MTV Evening News Monday with regional highlights coming up next.
Business in 3 came to you in association with GIDC, empowering the Spy Side.
Do you have or plan to start a business or project in the agribusiness, tourism, health and wellness, ICT, or energy sectors? You too can qualify for investment incentives such as duty-free concessions, tax credits, and tax waivers and exemption. Just fill in the application form, submit all the relevant documents, and your application can be processed in as little as 7 days. It's that simple. Contact us today to know more about investment incentives.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
It's the MTV News Monday, this evening's regional roundup.
This is the regional roundup for today. I am Donessa Pancho. In Jamaica, just a day after the killing of a man who is said to be a brother of dancehall entertainer Joshi in Grants Pen, St. Andrew, 3 persons have been shot, 2 fatally, in the same community. On Sunday, 3 men were shot in a construction site on Shortwood Lane in the area at about 3:10 p.m. Preliminary information is that the victims were working on the site when men on foot armed with guns opened fire, hitting the 3 males. 2 died on the spot while 1 was taken to the hospital for treatment. The attackers escaped in a waiting motor vehicle, which the police, in responding to the attack, later spotted in the Richmond Park area of St. Andrew, where a shootout ensued. The car that was being pursued ended up crashing and was abandoned by its occupant, who made good escape, leaving the firearm behind. fined. Reports are that the entertainer's brother was at home when a group of armed men went to the location. Sources from the area reported that minutes later, several explosions were heard. The police were called to the area and the body of the victim was found. The incident followed another in July of this year when a motor vehicle in which the dancehall artist Jashi was reported traveling was attacked by armed men on Constant Spring Road, also in St. Andrew. The General Secretariat of the Organization of American States, OAS, says its objectives to Venezuela's encroachment on Guyana's sovereignty and territorial rights and call on Caracas to await the ruling by the International Court of Justice on the border disputes between both countries. In a statement, the General Secretariat supported an earlier statement issued by OAS Secretariat General Luis Almagro, who criticized Venezuela's position regarding Guyana's ongoing oil auction. The statement on Saturday noted that on September 21st, Venezuela's National Assembly unanimously agreed to call a national public consultation so that the people strengthen the defense and the inalienable rights of Venezuela over the territorial dispute with Guyana. We condemn this improper use of the referendum because it is illegal, according to the 1966 Geneva Agreement, and because similar misuse of the instrument have served as a pretext in the recent past to try to justify the worst actions between states, including the crime of aggression, the OAS said. And finally, in the region further afield, the Biden administration is poised to admit Israel this week into an exclusive club that will allow its citizens to travel to the United States without a U.S. visa, despite Washington's ongoing concern about the Israeli government's treatment of Palestinian Americans. U.S. officials said the announcement of Israelites' entry into the visa waiver program is planned for late in the week, just before the end of the federal budget year on Saturday, which is the deadline for Israel's administration without having to requalify for eligibility next year. The Department of Homeland Security administers the program, which currently allows citizens of 40 mostly European and Asian countries to travel to the U.S. for 3 months without visas. Homeland Security Secretariat Alejandro Mayorkas is set to make the announcement Thursday, shortly after receiving a recommendation from Secretary of State Antony Blinken that Israel be admitted. According to 5 officials familiar with the matter who spoke Sunday on conditions of concealment because the decision has not yet been publicly announced. And that's it for this evening's Regional Roundup. I am Donessa Pancho.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sporting highlights are next.
For a limited time, the NLA has dropped all of the 2x balls from the multi-X draw. This means that you, our valuable players, have greater chances of multiplying your winnings up to 5 times more in our 2x drop promotion. Yay! And that's not all. As an additional bonus, there will be fewer free play or FP balls to draw from too. Now you have more reasons to add multi-X to your playway bets. So, value your dreams, win your way, and multiply your winnings up to 5 times more. in the NLA's 2X Dropped promotion. Promo runs until Friday, 20th October, 2023. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Vivid by Quartz Optical. Schedule your free eye exam today and get up to 50% off credit purchases. You heard right, up to 50% off select credit purchases or 25% off cash purchases. What are you waiting for? Buy that frame today with no cash and pay later. Book your appointment online today at quartzoptical.com. Live vivid, see vivid. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Another win for Spice Girls in CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifiers. That story and more coming up for you in our sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
The Quartz Store home event is happening now. Get up to 30% off select furniture, appliances, and electronics. Save on bedroom, dining room, living room sets, 55-inch smart TVs, and more. Get what you want today with no cash and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Plus, stay protected for up to 4 years with Super Shield extended warranty. Don't miss the Quartz home event, bringing value home. Promotion runs 25th August to 23rd September 2023. Conditions apply.
Special evening to you now, sporting fans. Here's Donella Holston with this evening's sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. Grenada's Spice Girls secured 3 points with a historic win, 4-1 in the second game against the Bahamas at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Sunday in the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup qualifiers. Nia Fleming-Thompson scored in the 11th, 55th, and 72nd minute, and Melania Fullerton scored in the 47th minute. The head coach of the Grenada senior women's football team is Jake Rennie.
Both games we see a similarity in the first half. The first game we had a full first half. The second game we played good in the first 15 minutes. After we scored the goal, we dropped our guard. I think that all it changed with Crystal had changed the game a bit, and we give I think this motivates Bahamas. But after the second half, I think they come out and did very well in the second half with the great automatic players.
Fleming Thompson spoke about her experience throughout the game.
For this game, we went in it. First half was a bit rough. We were too excited, I guess. Everyone just so out because we're going home. But at halftime, we're able to calm down, talk it out. Because first, we were excited, able to play and get 3 goals in the second half. I'm so grateful to be playing for Grenada and get my third hat trick. Other than that, I'm part of my team of how far we've become. And we only want all the smoke. We want all the smoke.
Grenada's Lyndon Victor finished third in the 2023 Decaster in Talence, France, which took place from the 23rd to the 24th of September. Decaster is an annual combined events athletics competition organized by the International Association of Athletics Federations, IAAF, and World Athletics. It is one of the athletics meetings that make up the World Combined Events Tour, or IAAF Combined Events Challenge. Male and female athletes compete in the decathlon or heptathlon, respectively, and points scored at this meeting counts towards a yearly total for the parent competition. The Decaster competition was first established in 1976, and after further editions in 1978 and 1984, it was held annually from 1986 onwards. As the Norsika Beach Volleyball Continental Tour continues, the Grenada flag will be flown high with the representation of two teams, Thornia Mitchell and Keshanis Mitchell in the female category, Darren Oxford and Isaac Nelson in the male category. The competition will be held in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic from September 28th to October 2nd, and will see both teams playing against other countries within the Norsika zone. The teams left the island on Monday, September 25th and will return on October 3rd. It was a historic night at Providence as Guyana Amazon Warriors won the 2023 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League final with a 9-wicket win over the Trinbago Knight Riders, ensuring a maiden CPL title for the franchise. Amazon Warriors won the toss and chose to bowl first, producing a disciplined performance to bowl the Knight Riders out for just 94. Imran Tahir and Gudakesh Moti produced a valuable economical spells, while Dwayne Pretorius took 4 wickets. It was a nervy chase from the Amazon Warriors in front of a home crowd as the Knight Riders tried to restrict runs with a spin. However, Saeed Mayub and Shai Hope, the two leading run scorers in CPL this season, would ultimately see the team over the line, winning by 9 wickets. And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donella, for the latest in sport. And viewers, when we return, we'll have the public forecast information for you and then a recap of the main stories.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We have the will to overcome. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Monday evening, viewers, and back with the nighttime weather forecast and meteorologist Wayne Williams. Mixed conditions over the weekend, lots of sunshine on Sunday and Monday, but today we did see a significant increase in much needed showers and cloudiness over the southern Caribbean that brought some relief from the heat and also some much needed showers. That area of cloudiness will continue to be active and bring us some more showers over the next couple of days. We still have a storm out there in the Atlantic, that is Tropical Storm Felipe. It is moving to the west, not any threat to the islands. They expect it to drift up to the northwest and into the open Atlantic. Another tropical wave in the far eastern Atlantic is heading our way. Minor convection associated with it at the moment, but as it continues, it's going to move into an area of drier air, so not much chance of it intensifying much further. Right now, Felipe, we can see the cloudiness associated with it. The center of the hurricane has moved away from the central dense overcast. As it continues to drift off, it is expected, as I said, to move westward and then drift off into the open Atlantic. We could see some moderate waves maybe in the next couple of days, some significant activity still over the southern Caribbean, and that is with that area of cloudiness that we were looking at earlier on. The forecast on Monday night, Expect some scattered showers with easterly winds between 5 and 15 miles per hour. Minimum temperature around 24. The moon, it rose early on at 3:15. It's going to set in the morning at 3:02. Some showers again on Tuesday. Easterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. 70% chance of those showers occurring. Moderate seas, 4 to 5 foot waves. Sunrise 5:56, sunset at 6. The temperature will climb to around 30 and feel like 33. The UV index will be moderate to high. Frequent showers in Port of Spain, scattered showers in Bridgetown, and the possibility of thunderstorms in both Kingston and Miami. Showers for New York and light rain in London. Back here at home, the showers are expected to continue into Wednesday and Thursday, but of course becoming fewer and further apart as the time progresses. So fewer showers are in the forecast for Thursday. Moderate UV index, with a bit more sunshine, a bit more heat, and we expect that with the fair conditions for the start of the weekend, the UV index will be a bit high. It will feel a bit warmer, only about a 30% chance of showers at that time. By the latter part of the weekend into the next work week, it's going to get even hotter. Fewer clouds around, going to see fewer, if any, showers at all. So expect some showers at first, Wednesday, Thursday, improving gradually into the weekend when we're going to see it getting much hotter. That's how it stands at the moment. Temperature will start up around 30, increase gradually towards the weekend. That is forecast for Monday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Remember, you can join me again right here on Tuesday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. A cry for attention from community mental health workers who started protest action on Monday. Authorities are now on even more high alert following a second break-in at a primary school in St. Andrew. One man was injured in a shooting incident over the weekend. And in sport, it's congratulations indeed for another win for the Spice Girls in the CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifiers. We've had details to those and other stories to look to at the public forecast information. Right now, I'm Tony Julian along with the news and production departments. We all thank you so very much for viewing and wish you a good night.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Bernadette Robinson, also known as Miss Robbie of Monjaloo St. George, passed away on Sunday, 10th September in the USA. She survived by her sons, Dr. Alvin Robertson and Gavin Robertson, grandmother of Dr. Brent Robertson and Chloe Clark Robertson, sister of Wilfred and Cosmos McIntyre and Cheryl Greenidge, mother-in-law of Connie Robertson, grandmother-in-law of Dr. Nichelle Robertson, aunt of Annette Allott and Kenny McIntyre. Other relatives and friends including Mary Mark and family, Lottie Taylor and family of Caliste, Debbie Cummins, Marlene Wam, Keith and Cecil Phillip in the USA, and the Park and Andrews families of Monjaloo. The late Bernadette Robinson, also known as Miss Robbie of Monjaloo St. George, will be cremated in the USA. A memorial service will be held in Grenada at a later date. Arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
Lucia Smart, also known as Lucia Jeffrey of Chantimel St. Patrick, a well-known market vendor at the Grove Market, passed away on Tuesday, August 8th, 2023, at the age of 93. Left to mourn are her 7 children, Emerald in Trinidad, Angela in the USA, Ashley, Denny, Lucille, and Ralston in the USA, and Adolphus. Many grandchildren, including Swindy, Kanisha, Anaya, Nikki, Nadon, Joshua, Therese, Amanda, Casey, York, Jimmy, Demon, Meave, Danelle, Merlin, Shireen, Sheba, and Hara. Many great-grandchildren in Grenada, the United States, and Trinidad. Nieces and nephews Auntie Beryl, Auntie Vic, Auntie Yvette, Auntie Audlin, Teresa, Francis Pascal in the USA, Michael Pascal, Julian, David, Fitzroy, Rodney, Ashton, and Alstead. Close relatives and friends including Hennessy Jeffrey and family, the Smart family, the Jeffrey family of Chantimel, Levra, and Montrodney, the Nicholas family, the Mackenzie family and the Nichols family, Auntie Lena and family, Cynthia and family, Tonya and family, Christy, Hazelan, David, Allison, Paul, Miss June, Miss Mark, Miss St. Bernard, Mr. Samuel, Faith Phillip, John Nelson, members of the Grove Market, and friends and neighbors of Chantimel, Charlie, Prospect, Darby, Levra, Mount Rodney, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Lucia Smart, also known as Lucia Jeffrey of Chantimel St. Patrick, will take place on Tuesday, September 26th at 2 p.m., with tributes commencing at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick Roman Catholic Church, Satires, and interment will be at the Marley Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Anselm McLawrence, also known as Hans and Handu, of Jampere Winwood Carriacou, passed away on Thursday, 14th September 2023, at the age of 90. He was the father of Yvette, Nicole, and Richard McLawrence, grandfather of Shina, Jasmine, and Zachary McLawrence, brother of Laurel McLawrence, brother-in-law of Glenna and Anne McLawrence, father-in-law of Hervin Kidd, uncle of many including Velma, Hazel, Jacinta, Laurel, Gussie, Adrienne, Margaret, Joey, Natasha, Melvin, Martin, Keith, Maria, Gillian, Albert, and Alba. Close cousin of many including Yvonne, Chris, Mario, Marvin, Keith, Pearl, Wayne Bullen, Rayburn, Lucina, Bernice, Paul, Valerie, Wendy, Gillian, and Bernice Davidson. Close friend of Calvin Patris, Norman Roberts, and Fitzroy McLawrence. Other relatives and friends including the McLawrence families, and friends and neighbors of Jampere, Winwood Carriacou, and surrounding areas too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Anselm McLawrence, also known as Hans and Handu, of Jampere, Winwood Carriacou, will take place on Tuesday, 26th September at 10 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's and Paul Roman Catholic Church, Winwood Carriacou, followed by private cremation. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Eldika Thompson of Munich St. Andrew passed away on Saturday, 2nd September 2023, at the age of 99. She was the mother of Basil in Trinidad, Monica, also known as Magdalene and Norsa in Canada, Morgan Antoine, also known as Simon Charles, and retired Commissioner of Police Willen Thompson. Grandmother of Nicole, Carlos, Cassandra, Nathaniel, Heidi, Janelle, Chetty, Carlson, Collins, Chen, Chillian, Ricardo, Melissa and Jensen. Great-grandmother of 15. Sister of Ambrose Charles and Veronica Clammy Charles. Sister-in-law of Merlin Charles. Mother-in-law of Edric, Pearl, Perla, Louise and Esther. Nieces and nephews including Melcita, Ben and Eric. Caregivers June Francis, Nesta Daniel and Lystra Mason. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including the Charles, Roberts and Batiste families, Cousin Nita, Cousin Tilla, Mrs. Nellie, Mrs. Angela, Mrs. Elsa, Mrs. Teresa, Gregory, Kester and Larry, members of the Tuileries Pentecostal Church, and friends and neighbors of Munich and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Eldika Thompson of Munich St. Andrew will take place on Wednesday, 27th September at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grenville Pentecostal Lighthouse, and entombment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Teresa Caitlin Compton, also known as Caitlin, K2, Auntie Caitlin, Cousin Caitlin, Sister Caitlin, Aunt Baba Caitlin of Winwood, Carriacou, passed away on Sunday, September 10th at the age of 99. Left to mourn her children, Cyril and Junior Compton in Carriacou, Gracelyn Roberts and Arnold Compton in Trinidad, Nola Compton in the USA, Nesta Sihira and Zita John in the UK. Adopted mother of Maureen Benjamin and Aaron Bethel, grandmother of 29, great-grandmother of 16. Mother-in-law of Jesse Hira, Darrell John, Mary, Myrtle and Jermaine Compton, Laverne Stewart and Shakira Bethel. Sister-in-law of Cynthia McLawrence. Aunt of many including Gabriella Boniface and Brenda McFarlane, Caroline and Gerald McLawrence. Other relatives and friends including the Compton, McLawrence families, Davidson, Stewart, McFarlane, Bethel, Patrice, Samuel, Ogilvy, Frank, DeRoche, Eno, Chandler, Dowden, Lindo, Clement, Steele, Philip, Jordan, and Bino families, friends and neighbors of Winwood and surrounding areas too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Teresa Caitlin Compton, also known as Caitlin, K2, Auntie Caitlin, Cousin Caitlin, Sister Caitlin, and Baba Caitlin of Winwood, Carriacou will take place on Wednesday, 27th at 12:30 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's and Paul Roman Catholic Church, Winwood, Carriacou, and the entombment will be at the Family Cemetery, Winwood, Carriacou. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Daniel Jacob Joseph Moses, also known as Paro of Munich, who resided at Grand Bacalet St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 2nd September at the age of 72. He was a close and dear friend of Ursula Horsford in Canada, father of Abigail and Deverell in the USA and Devon in Grenada, grandfather of Mackenzie, Shania, Deshaun, Christopher, Zion, Alia and Samuel, brother of Augustine Philip, Lydia Joseph, and Ellen Lord in the USA, Janet Bruno in Canada, Maggie and Francis in St. Croix, father-in-law of Tonic Moses and Peter Antoine, brother-in-law of Letha, Matthew, Desile, Patterson Thomas, Emmanuel Lord, Glory Alexander, Wayne and Derek, uncle of many including Elena, Thaddeus, Debbie, Elton, Leroy, Presley, Miranda, Junior, and Kelly. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including Saga, Yvonne, Chicken, Dexter, Lisgo, Gregory, Kennedy, Alma, the Macmillan family, Moses family of Post Royal, the Japal family in Crowshoe, Charles family in Grand Bacalet, Mrs. Merle, members of the Crowshoe Seventh-day Adventist Church, friends and neighbors of Munich, Grand Bacalet and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Daniel Jacob Joseph Moses, also known as Paro of Munich, who resided at Grand Bacalet St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, 28 September at 1 p.m. The The funeral service will be held at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Grenville, and the interment will be at the Grand Brass Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
Raymond Jr. Greenwich of Windsor Forest, St. David, who resided at Caliste, St. George and in the USA, entered into rest on Friday 15 September 2023 at the age of 53. He was the father of Raymond Dale, son of Raymond Hines, brother of Nicole Clark, Ramona, Ranisa, Renee, Ronald and their children, nephew of many including Agnes Segers, Yvonne and Lisa in the USA, Joan St. Bernard, Denise Greenwich Decoto, Lawrence Greenwich, also known as Dick, and Dominic Greenwich in Grenada, Lincoln and Rudolph Greenwich in Trinidad. Many cousins, other relatives and friends in Grenada, the USA, Canada and the UK, including Dawn Harvey and family, Jennifer Greenwich, Sandra Greenwich and family, Regina and Danica Decoto, Nadia Wellington, Margaret Greenwich Bain, and Isha Baldio. The body of the late Raymond Jr. Greenwich of Windsor Forest, St. David, who resided at Caliste, St. George and in the USA, will be cremated. Interment of ashes will take place at a later date. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Joseph Pear, also known as Lindsay, of Lafayette St. Andrew, a former employee of Jonas Brown and Habits Limited, passed away on Saturday 9 September 2023 at the age of 82. He was the husband of Gladys Pear, father of Michael Henry, Jude Bubb and Henry Jones in Grenada, Esther Olive in the UK, Lucille James, Lucian Pear, Kenneth Pear, Gloria Romaine, Lindonna Eartha Noel, and Sherry Connaught in the USA, grandfather of 29, great-grandfather of 27, brother of Geraldine Garrett and Teresa Williams, father-in-law of Leonie Henry, Alma Bubb, Chrisma Jones, Alexander James, Desmond Olive, Joseph Romaine, Kenneth Antwine, and Sylvan Noel, uncle of many too numerous to mention. Many other relatives and friends, including the Marcel, Sherman, Chichester, and Charles families of Lafayette, and friends and neighbors of Paradise and Lafayette St. Andrew. The funeral of the late Joseph Pear, also known as Lindsay, of Lafayette St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, October 5th at 12:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grenville Roman Catholic Church, and entombment will be at the Grand Brass Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Rupert Ethelbert Link of Lamode and St. George Estate, St. George, who resided in the USA, passed away on Thursday, September 14, 2023, at the age of 89. The funeral arrangements for the late Rupert Ethelbert Link of Lamode and St. George Estate, St. George, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. James A. Joseph, also known as Mr. Things and Clement, of St. David, who resided at Bonaire St. Mark, passed away on Saturday, 23rd September 2023, at the age of 89. The funeral arrangements for the late James A. Joseph, also known as Mr. Things and Clement of St. David, who resided at Bonaire St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Gladys Simon née Campbell, also known as Miss Gladys or Simon, of Cornet's Walk, Grove, St. John, passed away on Saturday, 9th September 2023, at the age of 99. The funeral arrangements for the late Gladys Simon née Campbell, also known as Miss Gladys or Simon, of Cornet's Walk, Grove, St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Fitzroy Mason, also known as Sea Egg and Mace, of Caliste St. George, passed away on Friday, 22nd September 2023, at the age of 77. The funeral arrangements for the late Fitzroy Mason, also known as Sea Egg and Mace, of Caliste St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Alithia Myrtle Jean Thompson, also known as Auntie Jean of Rosehill St. Patrick, passed away on Saturday, 23rd September 2023, at the age of 93. The funeral arrangements for the late Alithia Myrtle Jean Thompson, also known as Auntie Jean of Rosehill St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Gemma and Twine Wilson of Grove St. John, who resided at Bonaire St. Mark, a distinguished and much-loved mathematics and Bible knowledge teacher and former deputy head teacher of the St. Mark Secondary School, passed away on Monday, 28th August 2023, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Gemma and Twine Wilson of Grove St. John, who resided at Bonaire St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Elsia Ferguson, MBE, also known as Teacher Elsa and Elsie, of Grove St. John, who resided at Woburn St. George, died on Thursday, September 14th, 2023 in Tobago, at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Elsia Ferguson, MBE, also known as Teacher Elsa and Elsie, of Grove St. John, who resided at Woburn St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Teresa and Twine, also known as Cooley, of Central Grove Estate St. John, who resided in Canada, passed away on Wednesday, 23rd August 2023, at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late Teresa and Twine, also known as Cooley, of Central Grove Estate St. John, who resided in Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Jean Agnes Bartholomew of New Hampshire St. George passed away on Wednesday, 13 September 2023, at the age of 71. The funeral arrangements for the late Jean Agnes Bartholomew of New Hampshire St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Roxanne Jason Marshall, also known as Rox, of Grove St. John, passed away on Thursday, 14th September 2023, at the age of 47. The funeral arrangements for the late Roxanne Jason Marshall, also known as Rox, of Grove St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Lorraine John, also known as Lolo, and Gary Wright, of Marley St. Patrick, passed away on Wednesday, September 6th, 2023, at the age of 64. The funeral arrangements for the late Lorraine John, also known as Lolo, and Gary Wright, of Marley St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Dennis Albert Dragon, also known as Cock, of St. Paul's, who resided at Calivany St. George, passed away on Saturday, 16th September 2023, at the age of 74. The funeral arrangements for the late Dennis Albert Dragon, also known as Cock of St. Paul's, who resided at Calavini St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Francis Felix, also known as Bota, of Windsor Forest, St. David, passed away on Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late Francis Felix, also known as Bota, of Windsor Forest, St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Reverend George Milton Guy, also known as Gapman, of Lauriston, Carriacou, passed away on Tuesday, September 12, 2023, at the age of 68. The funeral arrangements for the late Reverend George Milton Guy, also known as Gapman, of Lauriston, Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Mary Virginia Francois, also known as Olive Alexander and I.E., of Mount Craven St. Patrick, passed away on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, at the age of 90. The funeral arrangements for the late Mary Virginia Francois, also known as Olive Alexander and I.E., of Mount Craven St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Lynn Lowe of Ladigue St. Andrew, who resided in Connecticut, USA, died on Tuesday, 29th August 2023, at the age of 62. The funeral arrangements for the late Lynn Lowe of Ladigue St. Andrew, who resided in Connecticut, USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. In loving memory of Cecilia Phyllis Aberdeen of Wells Road, Grenville St. Andrew, who departed this life on September 22, 2021, at the age of 90. She was laid to rest on October 22, 2021. In life we loved you dearly. In death we love you still. And in our hearts you hold a place no one else ever will. It broke our hearts to lose you. But you did not go alone. Part of us went with you the day God took you home. Although you are greatly missed, in our hearts your memory lingers, sweetly, tenderly, fondly, and true. You are gone, but not forgotten. She is remembered by her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, sons and daughters-in-law, and many other friends and relatives, too numerous to mention. May you continue to rest in peace until we meet again. Funeral arrangements were entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. In loving memory of Bernadette Myrna John of Happy Hill St. George, who resided in Port of Spain, Trinidad, and died on September 23, 2021, at the age of 76. On this anniversary of her passing, she is lovingly remembered, especially now by her children Yvonne John Roberts and Antoinette John Craig in the USA, Cindy John in Trinidad, grandchildren, siblings, relatives, and friends. If tears could build a stairway and memories were a lane, we would walk right up to heaven and bring you back again. No farewell words were spoken, no time to say goodbye. You were gone before we knew it, and only God knows why. Our hearts still ache in sadness, and secret tears still flow. What it meant to lose you, no one can ever know. But now we know that you want us to mourn for you no more. To remember all the happy times, life still has much in store. Since you'll never be forgotten, we pledge to you today, a hallowed place within our hearts is where you'll always stay. Funeral arrangements were entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
I just want to express my sympathy with all those of you who have lost your loved ones. We know it is not an easy piece to lose somebody that you love dearly. But death is not the end, because the Bible tells us that there is life after death. My mind goes back to a man in the Bible named David, a man who, at least